What is going on, Laser Focus Solutions Media? Christopher Godwin here, coming at you on a Tuesday, August 27th. Cannot believe it's almost September, but here we are. So I wanted to kind of lay out what's on my mind, what's rattling around in this squirrel brain of mine, ADHD mind, that as I ride down the road in the truck and I go, man, I got all these calls coming in. I got all this business. I got to puts and takes, ebbs and flows of a service business. It's a great problem to have. But what do you do, right? Because you can't, even though I have Indeed ads out there, I have 128 clients. No, you don't want, and I don't want 128 of these candidates in your home walking around. I have to vet them. I have to, make sure they're the right mindset, make sure they're the right clients. And it's about the customer experience when it comes to laser focus solutions. We pride ourselves on that very experience. I've learned actually that if I perform better in a customer experience mind than I do perform in my own very work that I'm being hired for, I get a better outcome. That sounds strange. You might say, what? Wait a minute. You're telling me that you can do mediocre work and give the customer a great experience and they're happier than if you went in there and you just, fumbled through their house with a bunch of attitude and a bunch of arrogance and a bunch of ego and did a perfect job? Yep. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I've gone behind people, charged more, I've gotten paid and tipped, and I've done less quality work than the guy that has been doing this for 35, 40 years. That's what I'm saying. And then when I'm done, they say, what else can you do? Right? So that's something that separates me, funny enough, is the value that I add in when I come into your home, that I'm going to treat your home better than I treat my own. I'm going to treat your dog, your child, your possessions as if they were my own. Okay. So there's a lot of pride that goes into that. There's a lot of experience that comes with that. I've been in this home service industry now for 25 years, managing many people in commercial facilities, from hospital bedside rooms to, prisons, to you name it, schools, environments, everything. So bedside manners is something that I'm very fluent with and I'm very understanding of, right? On the flip side, I'm a father too. Okay. I had a son who had cancer. We spent 31 days plus in the hospital, having nurses and doctors coming in all hours of the night. And trust me, we knew which nurses were on which rotation because they were the ones that jiggled the keys or they bumped the bed or whatever. And we looked at it and we knew right away, yes, we're going to get some sleep tonight because so-and-so is working tonight. Thank you. Right. So again, it's about the customer experience. I can hands down, if you own a business and you're doing poor customer service experience, then that's a problem, right? I was listening to a podcast that had a very strong mentor of mine, Aram Jones, and I loved what she said when she was on, and I forget the podcast. I don't have it in front of me, and I wish I did. It'd be a much better plug in here for her. But it more or less said that when her team members answer the phone, and someone says they want to get an estimate for their chandelier replacement, their response is congratulations. What a great thing, right? And I think that's so strong. That is such a strong comeback of a comment like congratulations. It changes everything, right? Now I'm thinking to myself, man, when customers call and say I want to get a price for to replace my fence, congratulations. Congratulations, you want to replace your fence. That's a big ask, right? Fences don't get replaced every day. Budgets don't get set aside for fences every day, right? And I'm just giving an example. I mean, but really in reality, it's about the customer experience. If you're not going to delight your customer and you're just going to show up and do your job and think that's going to serve, it's not, right? I get tons of reviews, tons of referrals, tons of just people pouring themselves into this business that want to see it succeed. And I'm just living on a prayer, living on a hope and a dream, let's call it. I'm a guy who believes in taking care of my customers, right? And I've said that on other videos. We've had to go back and do a few things here and there that, we've understood that we could have done something better. And that's what we do, right? So, I'm going to end the video on that, but I just wanted to kind of throw out, and actually, no, squirrel, I'm going to keep on going. So with that, I wanted to also ask and throw out the idea of I can't hire. So I can't hire without having work, right? If I do that, then I put myself out of business because I'm costing myself too much money. But then I can't take on too much work without the hire. So, how does a small owner of a business politely, respectfully grow without, ticking off, upsetting, you know, the clients, right? Because I have a calling of existing customers that are valued. I have new customers now that I'm being found on algorithm based on Google like crazy. My phone's blowing up, which is a great problem to have. But then it's that balance, right? Do I want to do? How can I go back and take care of the valued client that has gotten me to this very place? And then how do I go out to that new customer and build that relationship to make them just as valued as the other, right? So I had this idea, and if you're listening to this video this far in, I do appreciate it because a lot of times, this is off the top of my head, and I am unedited and whatnot. So I've had the idea of, okay, well, do I just go with, because I've had a few companies in my past that have only serviced their service maintenance contract customers. And I thought, man, that's a bold stance. But when I look back on it, those are the ones that were the strongest because it's kind of like a doctor's office. When I called around for something and they're like, we're not accepting any new clients, I didn't understand that back when I was younger. But now as a business owner, I do understand that. That means that facility isn't capable of housing an additional doctor. They don't have an additional doctor, whatever. So they're at full capacity. And right now they know that they can run efficiently and effectively with the current patient calling they have based on the current employee roster that they have. Okay. And when they get the calling and demand, then they decide to staff up more. Okay. So what if Laser Focus Solutions put out there a service membership and it looks something like this, like, hello, welcome. Thank you for calling Laser Focus Solutions. Can I help you? And it's like, yeah, thank you for calling. Can I get your service membership number? Well, I don't have one of those. I don't even know what that is. Oh, well, like a doctor's office, we're currently full. Not accepting any new patients or any new customers at this time. We're only servicing our service member clients. If you'd like to join that, we'll have someone reach out to you and we can discuss further, right? And that way it's kind of like a pool membership or whatever, where okay, and it's an expectation, right? It's a win-win for both in my mind, but I'm trying to figure out how do I get customers to understand it to where it's not like a push off or like a turned up nose or a pinkies out type philosophy. I'm genuinely trying to figure out how to stabilize this calling that I have right before it gets too big too fast. And then all of a sudden I start getting negative reviews because I'm not calling back. I'm not following up. I'm not getting out there on sites. Okay. So how does a business grow and scale in the service sector in a way that the clients can be on board and be a part of it? And my thought was, well, service memberships could help that, right? So if I have 30 customers and I know based on 30 customers, I get X amount of throughput of work, right? And in the service membership, there would be, and I have service plans created. I haven't launched them yet because I'm still a little bit trying to figure that out, right? But the service membership, service advantage plan, whatever we want to call it, would be incorporated with that, okay? Meaning I'm going to come out to your home. I'm going to assess. I'm going to do a certain list of items of things. I'm going to enter it into my system, my professional software that I have. I'm going to learn your facility, which customers that I have repeat clients on love. The fact that I know their home, I know the ins and outs of it as time goes on, and I do take notes and put it in my system. In my system. So, in a perfect world, I'd come out to your house. I would talk to you about 3 plans. You would choose which plan fits you, right? Am I just going to do the safety things? Am I just going to do the safety plus structural, safety plus whatever, right? And then also with that service membership, you also get my all in, squirreled out mindset, right? Meaning, hey, I need a plumber, or hey, I need an electrician, hey, I need this, hey, I need that. Well, I'm going to give you my goodies, right? I'm going to give you all the names of people that I got that I would call to come work on my own home, okay? And I'm readily available to do just that for you. So in doing that, it would allow me to know that, okay, if I pick up another 30 customers, I'm going to need to hire another field tech. If I pick up another 15 customers, I'm going to need to pick up another helper, right? And that way it would help me better understand and scale, okay? The other idea I had was, do I start charging for estimates? Meaning, if I have my service price book put together and you call in and it's in my price book, hanging TVs, hanging curtains. It's the I don't want to call it the easy stuff, okay? Because I just went out to a job today and I hung 5 blinds, a curtain, and a sheer, where the client said it sounds easy, it seems easy, but when I get up there and try it on a ladder, it's crooked, it falls out of the wall, it doesn't work, and all this other stuff. So, that's okay. That's why I have a business, is because I understand fully well that not everyone has the skill set, the background, not everyone has the time, the ability, the tools, all those things. That's why I've spent years and years and years learning this trade and learning what I do and getting better at it and buying the tools that I have and such. So do I say to that client that wants blinds hung and it's in my price book or whatever it may be, no problem, here's your free estimate, because it doesn't take a lot of my time, okay, to do that. But if I have to drive to your home and I have to get out my tape measure and I have to assess and I have to research, I got one right here that, oops, dropped it. I have one right here that a client had somebody in their home take a door handle out. Okay. Now the screws are not found, they're not working, whatever. And now I have to research, a replacement handle on a sliding glass door. Do I want to even share on this video how much time I've spent researching this lock? Because and I've learned a lot actually doing this. It's a double hinged, double lock. So your mortise lock sometimes only has the one hook that comes out, bing, bing, right? This one has two. So that changes everything in the handle. So like your Home Depots and your Lowe's and your Ace Hardware, they all typically have the single, not the double mortise. So I have a double mortise lock. And now I have to figure out what's going to fit the double mortise lock. And it's got to be a handle that has the exact screw hole width, the overall hole width, the depth, everything about it's got to fit. And of course, like everything else that we all purchase in our lives, just so happens this one's discontinued. So yay, makes it even more fun, because now I got to cross-reference part numbers and pieces and all kinds of goodies. So how do I make money on that? It's a great client. It's a repeat client. I want to make sure she's taken care of. Right now, she's got a piece of wood jammed in her door, right? So I got the part on order. But stuff like that, how do I justify my time behind the scenes doing all the very research I just talked about, right? And if you're a service member, then maybe that includes that. If you're not, then maybe I charge for a diagnostic fee. I'm not, and this is kind of me talking out loud, right? And I'm not expecting the audience to be of millions to click on this and give me a bunch of feedback. And, but at the same time, me talking out loud is going to help me better process. And I will watch this back and I'll, figure it out. And 6 months from now, a year from now, I'll look back on it and go, man, that was a great idea, or that was a horrible idea, but it's an idea. So just throwing it all out there, because, at the end of the day, we have to grow, we have to evolve, we have to change. I'm fearful that with the activity of incoming phone calls, the activity of demand of calls, being in this handyman home repair space, not being niched, my calls are coming in and they're in left field one day and they're in right field the next. And it's getting more challenging as the incoming calls come in to figure out what I should and shouldn't take, right? In the meantime, I have other companies, other companies that want me to subcontract in and do work for them. I have other people that want me to join. So, we are doing something. We are being noticed, right? And that's a good thing. I don't want to walk away from it. I just want to do it the right way. So, I'm going to end the video on that. I'm going to hit the stop button, and I'm going to hit the play button again and do another video on something different. But this was something that's been kind of in my head, tossing around back and forth. What's the best way? Because, just today, for example, I went out to look at a customer who needs bifold doors, right? And her opening is 63 inches. Well, 32 and 32 is 64. That's too big. 30 and 30 is 60. So then when you look at it, you go, I can go buy 60s, can buy 230s and fit it in there. It's going to have an inch gap between each thing. Now, this client happens to care, like literally will lose her lid if I were to install that in her house. Thankfully, I know that. So knowing that, I'm going to order the 32-inch doors, and I'm going to take a half inch off of each door to give me what I need, right? These are all things that matter. These are all things that, it's just not cookie cutter when it comes down to it. So that's just a closet door, right? It's not even talking about the other array of requests that I get. Can you replace my cellar entrance? Can you, fix two basement doors that got pushed in from water damage? Can you fix my cabinet? Can you fix my screen door? Can you, so it's like I would need an 18-wheeler of product to drive around to house everything that it gets needed and requested. So it's like, how do you niche down? How do you stay relevant? How do you, yeah. So like I said, I'm gonna hit the end button on this one. I think I'm pretty much burnt out on this thought process. I just wanted to kind of get it off my head, put it out there into the world, see where it takes me. And we're gonna get back in another video in about 2 seconds. Peace out. Thanks for watching.